tuning in to the online broadcast network, AFTERBUZZ TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your number one source for after-show entertainment. AFTERBUZZ TV, the destination for TV superfans. Producing aftershows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows, interviewing celebrities and showrunners, and bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
Good morning, good afternoon, all you America's Next Top Model fans. I am your host, Tony Moore, and you just tuned in to AFTERBUZZ TV's ANTM Elimination Roundup. I am here with the very lovely and very gorgeous Miss Ashley Molina. How are you, Ashley? Ashley? Are you there?
Oh, no, we may have, sorry, Tony,
Oh, no.
we may have lost her.
It's all right. It was a wonderful intro, too. I hope y'all heard it. Well, while we wait to get Ashley back on the phone, we will be chatting with her about her time on America's Next Top Model and all the shenanigans that happened while she was there. Unfortunately, she was yet another contestant that was eliminated last night. So many fans and so many of you guys hated to see her go. I'm sure if you're like me, you thought that she was going to go very, very far in this competition, and I was absolutely shocked that she went home. I was hoping and praying that I wouldn't have to talk to her today, not because I don't like her, but because if I talk to her, that means that she's been eliminated. So if you guys are joining us live this morning, make sure you type in your questions that you may have for Ashley. Also, make sure you like and subscribe to AFTERBUZZ TV, and go to iTunes and download our podcast there, and also give us 5 stars, because the more stars we get, the more content we can bring to you. Very excited. I know a lot of you are asking about the recap for America's Next Top Model. We were so desperately trying to fit that into our schedule, but there are so many shows that are happening that we unfortunately were unable to fit it in. But we are very happy to bring you an exclusive chat with all of the eliminated contestants every Thursday morning at 10:45 Pacific Standard Time.
We've got Ashley back on the line.
There we are. Ashley, how are you?
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. Ooh, technology is a beast. I gave you like this wonderful intro. I don't know if you heard it or not, but it was fierce. And then all of a sudden I went, "Hey, Ashley," and it was crickets. And I was like, "Uh-oh, what had happened?"
Oh.
But it's okay. We have you now. I was just telling the folks that are watching live that I was really hoping that I didn't have to talk to you today. Not because I don't like you, but because if I talk to you on a Thursday morning, that means you were eliminated the night before. How are you feeling about that, the whole elimination?
Well, watching is pretty emotional.
Yeah.
You know, just going back with all those feelings and stuff.
Yeah. Because you were one of the contestants that I'm sure many fans thought were going to go very far in this competition. And I think week after week, we're always shocked at the people who are being eliminated. Just going back to this particular challenge, it kind of started off a little rocky for you because you were paired with Devin, who is part of the threesome that you guys have in the house.
We
Was it?
I would prefer not to call it threesome.
Well, not threesome in that way, but a friendly, friend threesome. Okay, we just gonna move on from that one. But were you excited? Were you nervous going into the challenge with Devin? Because we've seen thus far that Devin is quite the character. Yes. But him being friends with you going into this challenge, did you think what were your initial thoughts going into the challenge?
Going into this challenge with Devin, and he picked me as his partner, I was kind of excited. I'm like, Devin has like a big personality, so maybe that'll play well on camera.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I was actually, I think when Devin was was about to choose his partner, I don't know if other fans were thinking this, but I was secretly like, I hope he goes for someone else so that Ashley and Mikey can work together. That was just my thoughts. But then when he picked you, I was like, okay, this is going to be fun. And it like, you're not pressured to, work with, someone that you are with in the house. Speaking of Mikey, we should go ahead and dive into that and just get this out of the way. Are you and Mikey still chatting, talking, being friendly with one
me and
another?
Mike are still friends. We are friends to this day, but that is it. After the show, we kind of went back to our normal lives. And,
Oh, well,
left the competition in the competition.
Well, that sucks to hear, because I mean, when all the pairings, I don't want to call it hookups because that just makes it sound wrong. When all the pairings started happening in the house, I liked you and Mikey together. What like gravitated you towards Mikey while you guys were in the house?
We actually started telling each other about like our background and like where we came from and how we grew up, and like we had a lot of similarities within each other's past, and it made us just open up to each other more. And we were real cool, that they're like me, Devin, and Mike. We're all like really good friends.
Yeah. How did you feel about, because I know you guys don't hear what others are saying until the show, is airing. How did you feel being labeled as like the mean girls or the mean group of the house? Did that affect you in any way?
I was shocked a little bit because I didn't, I wasn't labeled that in the house. Nobody ever told me that Ashley, you're coming off as a bully. Yeah. So now watching the show and just being labeled as like a mean girl is just like wow. Because if anybody knows me like that at home, like especially my mom, she's like, Ash. Yeah. You of all people are not no bully. I'm like far from a bully.
No, you definitely didn't come across that during your time on the show. For me, you actually came across as just like this cool, like down to earth chick that like you can kick it with and like laugh and joke with. But when it's time to like do business, like you're gonna focus and do business. But then we'll laugh and kiki later.
Yeah, because like if anybody noticed on set, like me and Mikey didn't even really interact that much. Yeah. On set as like other people did with each other. Like we really just like we saved all that for the house. Yeah. And like on set we worked, and that's pretty much how it was between us in the house.
Yeah, because I mean, there's a time and place for everything, and and your main focus is this competition and being fully vested in this opportunity that you've been given. What were your initial thoughts and feelings when you got on the show? I mean, had you tried out for the show before, or was this your first time?
This was my first time trying out for the show because I was, watching the show growing up. I was a little nervous, because I didn't know how I would do compared to everyone else, and going into the competition and finding out that everybody's so much more experienced more experience than me, it just like it kind of shook my nerves a little bit. But yeah, I was like, I got this opportunity, I have this chance, and I have to take it. I can't go back now. So I got to give this my all.
Well, let me tell you, you are a force to be reckoned with. Like, when you came onto the show, and especially after the tie over, I was like, yes, she's about to give it. I loved your short pixie look. Do you still have it? Do you still have your short pixie look?
Yes.
Oh, I love that.
I still have my little shortcut.
Now, when they did cut your hair, my first thought was, and I'm not sure if you know who Kat Graham is. Do you know who Kat Graham is?
Yes. I actually, the first time I seen her was somebody tagged her on one of my pictures. Mm-hmm. And I look, I'm like, oh my God, is that me?
Y'all look almost exactly alike. Like I was like, look at little Kat Graham on TV being a model now. Yes. But I loved it, and I thought that when they gave you the tie over, I don't know, it just made you like pop. even more. Like, how did you feel, you know, once the makeover happened? Because you didn't have a breakdown like everybody else. Poor people, all these people who have all these breakdowns about these makeovers. I'm like, listen, somebody's giving you a new look. I wish Tyra Banks would walk in here and tell me what to do with me. I'd be like, do whatever. You want me to have long hair? I'll take it. You want me to just go completely bald? I'll do it. You want me to chop off an ear? No, don't get crazy. But I may shave it just a little bit. But how are you feeling during the tie-over and once it happened for you?
Going into the competition, I had like a feeling. I'm like, they're gonna cut my hair off, so I was a little bit prepared, just a little bit. But like watching the process and them cutting my hair off, it was like I was just watching. Like I feel like I was just watching like old pieces of myself just like fade away, you know. And it was just like bringing my features out so much more. Like I was watching the transformation, like right in my face, right in front of the mirror. So it was really crazy. And then they took my glasses away. They gave me contacts. I was like, oh, it's a wrap. They just brought a new.
It's a whole new Ashley up in here. You got new hair, new contacts. I kind of feel you about the contacts. It took me a while to like really go and get contacts because I'm like, listen, I'm not trying to put anything in my eye. This whole concept of this little thing being over my eyelid, I'm not down with. I'm not here for that. And then like when I finally did it, I was like, oh, I'm kind of cute. I'm like, you know, keep the contacts, you know, not to toot my own horn, but you know, when I was I did this in high school. So I was in that phase where like, where everybody think they cute. And so I thought I was cuter. So I said, I'm gonna keep these contacts because I'm looking like I should be on the next cycle of America's Next Top Model right now. So during what was the toughest part of this competition for you? Because I'm pretty sure there are a lot of things that we don't see, and I'm pretty sure for you going into this experience, and not ever having an experience like this before, like what was the toughest part for you?
The toughest part was I think not being able to like talk to my family whenever I wanted to, because usually I'll be like, Mom, I didn't did this, what's the best thing I should do? And she'll just give me she'll just give me advice, or she'll just tell me exactly what I needed to hear. This time it was just me and just like, doing everything just based off of my own opinion. And I'm used to that, but like when you have like something taken away from you that you kind of take for granted a little bit, you appreciate it more when it's gone. So I was just like really like, I need to hear my mom's voice. So every time we got to talk to them, it was like a breath of fresh air.
Oh, yeah, I totally understand that because sometimes, you just need to be able to call someone, that you're familiar with, because especially being in the house with people who don't know you, they're not going to take you to the side and be like.
competition with them. So it's like at the same time, they're giving you advice, but they can only do so much because, you are competing against that person. Mm-hmm.
Well, they doing a lot for Courtney. Bless her heart. We just going to send a prayer out for her. Speaking of your family, you mentioned your sister Ming Ming. Has she watched the show, and what were her thoughts, about it?
Oh, Ming Ming she is so funny. You have no idea. She watched the show, and the first time she watched it, and she heard my story and stuff. But then when she see me crying, she's like, Ashley, why are you being a crybaby on national TV? I'm like, what? She's like, Ashley, you can't be crying on TV. Look at you. I was like, no, she didn't just come up to me and tell me that.
Look, kids will be honest with you. That's why I don't mind.
So honest, but she loves it. She watches every episode. She goes on my mom's phone, and uses the app, and she watches on repeat. She's like, Ashley, look, this is Ashley. It's my sister. She's too funny.
Do you feel like you've made her proud of her big sister?
Yeah, I did. And then, like, when she sees her picture and stuff on TV, she gets excited. My mom, too, when she sees her picture, they're like, it brings, like, a little joy inside.
Yeah.
That expression on their face.
I suddenly imagine her as, like, this little diva who's, like, as soon as the camera comes out, she is ready.
Oh, she is. She be having her pose. She puts her hands on her hips, and then she starts moving and her legs. I'm like, okay, Mimi, work.
She's going to be on like cycle 30, 35, because you know it's going to go on forever. She's going to be, she's going to be talking about you. She was like, yes, my sister was on this show, but I'm going to win it this year.
Yes.
So, speaking of, you just mentioned your story that you brought up on the show as far as you being molested when you were younger. How was that for you? Was that a tough thing for you to expose on the show? Like, what were your thoughts going into that?
My thoughts going into that was just like, I started and it did not stop.
Yeah.
It was just like, I don't know why, but it felt like it was just like, it had to just like come out. And it did, and it felt good, you know, like it was just like weight was just lifted off my shoulders.
Yeah. That's good. And I'm sure by you sharing your story, you allowed someone else to, you know, be able to share theirs and talk to someone else about theirs. So it's always good. Something good always comes out of, you know, someone else's story. So hopefully someone took that into heart and was able to share their story with someone.
Yeah.
I thought that was very courageous of you because, you know, having this platform and being in front of, you know, Miss J and Tyra and Kelly and kind of exposing yourself. I gave a kudos to you for doing that because not everyone can do that. Not everyone can be that vulnerable, and you took that moment. So I appreciate you doing that.
Thank you.
You are welcome. Now, the commercial challenge that we saw yesterday, and going into it from the CW challenge, did you have like, you know, reservations about it? Were you a little more nervous about the challenge, especially with, you know, coming in after a 6 for your CW challenge? How were your nerves going into it?
Coming in after that 6, I was like, oh, like me and Devin looked at each other, and then we was like, we didn't even think it could get that low. But,
I didn't either. I was like, a 6? Like, what happened?
So, like, going into that commercial, it was just like, all right, Ash, you know, I felt like I had to push myself more, and I did feel a little overwhelmed, you know, because I always had that thought in the back of my head, like, you can't mess up. And I guess I was holding on to that for it just was like over my head during the whole shoot. And I think if I would have just let go of that a little bit and at least had a little bit more fun, just let everything come a little bit more natural, I would have got a better score.
Yeah, because I mean, I'm sure it's tough. You know, I for one was with y'all when I saw a 6. I was like, oh, okay, I thought y'all stopped at 7 because everyone else has been getting 7s, but y'all went to 6. Okay, y'all trying to take, like, listen, we've been giving y'all 7s, but we gonna try to take this a little bit lower. So I was nervous too for you. Like, whenever I watch these competition shows, I feel like I'm there too. Like, I'm rooting and cheering and being nervous for y'all. So like when you went into the commercial challenge, I was like, all right, Ashley, now you know what you got to do. I gave you a pep talk whether you knew it or not, but I was like, come on, you got to do it. You got to pull it off. And then when the elimination happened, I noticed your body language was just kind of like, almost like you felt like something was about to happen. Take us back to that moment. Like, did you feel like your time might have been up last night? Because your face was like, I know this ain't about to go down how I think it is.
Yeah. After I seen that thing, I did. After, like, it was the bottom 3, and we got to Courtney, and they chose Courtney. I was like, oh, I'm going home. You know, like, that's the only thing that popped up in my head. I was like, oh, I know I'm going home. Because they gave Devin better critique on his commercial than they did mine. Mm-hmm. So I knew my score was lower than his. So I'm like, oh, they're going to say, I'm going home. I already knew it.
Yeah. Was it tough being, you know, sent home next to, or being in the bottom 2 with Devin, who you consider a close friend?
It was tough because I know me and him both, you know, I like at panel, the CW popped up in my head in the commercial, and then the whole DMA. It was just like so much was running through my head at that time, and I'm like, this sucks that it has to end like this between me and him.
Yeah. Now, I was secretly hoping, again, giving you a pep talk, whether you were aware of it or not, when Tyra said that you both didn't take it seriously as far as like the CW challenge. Was there something in you that wanted to say, no, Tyra, like I was totally taking it seriously and realized how serious the situation was. Did you?
I did, because I did really try on that challenge.
Yeah.
So when she said that, it was just like a slap. It was like a slap in the face, just like the 6. I was like, damn. Like,
yeah. Like,
it sucked.
Do you wish you would have said something to her, right? Or can you say something to her? Like, I don't know how it is to be in front of Tyra.
We can, but it's like when I'm on panel, it's like I'm looking at them like, these are like our bosses in a way, and I never wanted to come off disrespectful to any one of them. I looked up to each judge, Kelly, Mrs. J, and especially Tyra. So everything that she told me, I took all the advice that she gave me, and I hold it to this day, and I apply it to all my modeling and all the castings that I go to. So I just took in what she said, and I'm just going to have to, take it as a lesson learned. That's
true. See, I always start things off with no disrespect. So it's kind of like a warning to say, like, I think I'm about to say something that's going to be disrespectful, but I want to let you know up front that I don't mean any disrespect. And then I go into what I'm about to say. So speaking of like advice and stuff and things that you took away from this competition, what did you learn about yourself and what advice did you take away from being on the show?
Well, Tyra always told me to, she always, like, especially when in the beginning when she did that little segment with us with the whole, the giraffe and the owl. Like, cause my favorite pose now is the owl, and I use that all the time. Every shoot I go to, that's like one of my favorite, like, go-to poses.
Yes.
So, I definitely learned a lot more of my angles and my eyes, like, on set with working with photographers, a lot of the time they won't like tell you what's going on or how the pictures are coming out. So for her to work with them and for them to like critique me like out loud in my face, it helps. It helps, and you learn what to do, what not to do, your angles, you practice more. So I definitely learned a lot more with my modeling, and I got a lot better.
Oh, good. I love that segment too. Like, I'm working on my owl and giraffe and horse and all of that. I'm still trying to get it down, but like I follow you guys on Instagram so that I can see what y'all are doing to match up to see if I'm doing it right. Speaking of like, post show and your modeling and castings and everything, catch us up now. Like, what has life been like for you post Top Model?
Well, now, you go outside and people are like, oh, wait, aren't you that girl? I'm like, oh. More people recognize you. It's especially like networking wise. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of more people who, realize who you are rather than just going to a casting and people just was like asking you all these questions like, where do you model? What have you done? Now it's like people know. Yeah. You don't have to explain so much of who you are when you go to certain places.
Did you walk in New York Fashion Week?
Yes, I did model in New York Fashion Week.
Okay, because I think, and I should have looked this up again before, but were you with Delaney and some other people? Were you in that show with them? Or?
Yeah, I did a show with Hadassah, Bayo, and Delaney. Yeah.
Oh, it was like a mini little A&TM reunion.
It definitely was, especially for like the whole New York Fashion Week. Everybody's been coming in at different times, and everybody's been trying to meet up when they can. So
yeah, that's good. Well, and what else would you like to do besides modeling? Because a lot of people that I've spoken to, they're dabbling in acting and singing and all that. Is there anything else that you want to do besides modeling?
I would like to get into acting, but I know I need some acting lessons, you know. And I definitely want to get into photography. Like I said on the show, I want to work, you know, in front of the camera as well as behind it.
Yeah. Well, the opportunities are flooded open for you. And of course, I wish you nothing but success. I think that you're definitely going to go far in this industry, and I'm rooting for you, secretly and out loudly. I may tweet you every now and then, just be like, hey, just checking in to make sure you're doing all right.
Okay. Well, thank you so much.
You are so welcome, and thank you so much for joining us. And before you head out, and before they wrap us, because they love to give me the Emmy Award music, where can they find you on social media?
Yeah, you can find me on Twitter at Ashley Molina, ASHLEYMOLINAA. And on Twitter, it's the same. It's just my last name and my first name is like, it's like ASHLEYY and then MOLINAA. That's like Snapchat and Twitter.
Awesome. Well, we will definitely be keeping up with you, Ashley. And again, I wish you all the best and all the success.
Okay, thank you. You have a great day.
Thank you. You too.
All right.
Bye-bye. All right, thank you guys so much for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV's ANTM Elimination Roundup. I've been your host, Tony Moore, and if you would like to follow me on all social media platforms, you can by adding @LoungingWithTony or my website, loungingwithtony.com. We will be back next Thursday for another chat with another eliminated contestant. Who could it be? Tweet me and let me know who you think I may be chatting with next week. We'll see you then.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.